Hey, good morning. It's Mark here with another morning rant. Yeah, see that? It's 5:30. Been up for a minute, but I'm not sure what's going on with my phone. I might have to do a factory reset. Okay. I heard something yesterday that just blew my mind, and I wanted to do a video yesterday, just in the heat of the moment, just to get I mean, everything that I do here is off the cuff. There's no script. But I was so heated, I wanted to do a video, but I was like, nah, let me stick to my morning rant theme here, and I'll just wait till the morning. Maybe I'll be more. Maybe I'll come off a little bit more intelligent if I wait. Here we go. Candace Owens. Candace Owens. Yes, Candace Owens. The conservative woman who happens to be black, who is all over Fox News. They're talking about the incident where this guy somewhere in Wisconsin, I can't pronounce those names, those cities in Wisconsin, forgive me, but this guy was fleeing a domestic dispute with a knife. So he committed a crime, and he was fleeing the scene of a crime, and he just happened to run into a parade of folks, injuring, I think, killing 6 and injuring a couple of more. And this guy just happens to be black. They're trying to make this out to be like a political thing or something like that. But the police chief said this is not a political incident. This is not a terrorist attack. This guy was fleeing the scene of a crime and committed another crime in the act. That's pretty cut and dry. That's what it was. But listen to what Candace Owens says.
Obsessed. And one thing I always say, Tucker, is that the left can pull a racist narrative from thin air where it doesn't exist, but when it actually is in their face, they try to avoid it at all costs, especially when the perpetrator is a black person against another white person, which obviously happens more often in this country, given the fact that black Americans are the most murderous group in America by rate. Here you have a man who was pointedly talking about white people all across social media, sometimes genocidal, by the way.
So there you go. She made a couple of points in there. Black folk are the most murderous group of people in America. This guy was blatantly racist, which is why he killed those people in that march or that parade. So I don't have the numbers. I can look them up. They're out there on the FBI.gov website. But I'm going to trust my guy, Dr. Rashard Ritchie, to help me out with the numbers and explain it to us better than I ever could. So let's continue this. Let's continue this this clip here, and let's let Dr. Rashard Ritchie explain it to us.
Now remember, these are the same people that give cover to the murderers of Ahmaud Arbery, give cover to Rittenhouse and individuals that do not fit their particular social narrative. Here's the reality. The reality is this guy is not a good person, somebody that's on my ish list. I have absolutely no love for the guy who ran through that parade. But let's be clear about what happened. For claims that Owens said Darrell Brooks was targeting white people, let's bring you the facts, okay? The police chief, Thompson, said the incident was not a terrorist event. Thompson would also say that Darrell Brooks, and I quote, was fleeing a domestic disturbance with a report of a knife when he rammed into the parade. This is a guy, allegedly, who committed a criminal act, who's committing another criminal act in order to get away from the responsibility of said criminal act. Pretty straightforward, all right? For Owens claims that black people are the most murderous group, let me go ahead and give you some insight to that. We deal with facts here. According to the FBI, their expanded homicide data from 2018, the most recent report of this kind Reuters was able to find 80.7% of the murders of white people were committed by white people, okay? 15.5% of the murders of white people were committed by black offenders, 514, all right? In reality, rates of white on white and black on black homicides are similar and remain within 10 percentage points of each other, around 80% and 90% respectively. Likewise, rates of black on white and white on black homicide remain within 8 percentage points of each other at around 16 and 18 and 8%, excuse me. And police kill black people at a disproportionate and much higher rate than they kill their white counterparts. No surprise there.
So according to the numbers, white on white crime and black on black crime are the same. And it's asinine to think that anybody outside of a race will kill anybody else. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, if you're in a black community, you're going to get black on black crime heavy in that community because it's all black people in that community. No different than if you got a community of all white people. You're going to get white on white crime heavier in that white heavily populated area. Asian on Asian crime, Latino on Latino crime, it doesn't matter. If you're in a neighborhood that's predominantly a certain race, that's where most of the crime is going to happen. That's just facts. And when you talk about black on white crime and white on black crime, like you said, they're within 8 points of each other. It happens about the same. It happens about the same. Now, he threw in an added thing in there about cops killing black folk. I'm not going there right now. I'm just talking about white on white crime, black on black crime, and black on white crime and white on black crime. It happens about the same. So for Candace Owens to go on Fox News and say that black folk kill regardless of race disproportionately to anything in this country is wrong, it's false, it's fake, and it shouldn't be said. But that's her narrative. That's what she gets paid to do. And that brings me to this.
About race. It's ridiculous. How many black people were in Abraham Lincoln's West Wing? I mean, it's absurd to even to go that direction.
If you got to go back to Abraham Lincoln, you really need to shop it.
That's my point.
George
My point
Bush.
is, I mean, was Abraham Lincoln a racist
George
because
Bush.
he didn't have
Oh my God. This woman, Katrina Pearson. Katrina Pearson was heavy in the Trump camp 5-6 years ago. She has since faded out of public spotlight. I'm not sure what she's doing now. I think she works for a 501c3 conservative fundraising committee. But prior to and just immediately after Donald Trump's election, she was all over CNN and Fox and everything, and she was spouting this bull crap, just craziness on TV. I made a lot of videos about this craziness that this woman was talking about and how she made absolutely no sense. But she's since faded out of the spotlight. Let me give you somebody else.
Segregation or integration. If we don't want segregation, then we need to get rid of channels like BET and the BET Awards and the Image Awards, where you're only awarded if you're black. If it were the other way around, we would be up in arms. It's a double standard. Just like there shouldn't be a Black History Month. You know, we're Americans, period. That's it. What I find astounding is that we've had a president who is black in office for the past 8 years, who gets most of his funding from the liberal elite in Hollywood.
Okay, so this fool, why is there a NAACP Image Award? Why is there a BET? Why? Why is there a Jet magazine? Why is there Ebony magazine? Why is there Essence magazine? Why? She knows this history. She just doesn't want to admit to it. This fool, Stacey Dash, went out and said a lot of crazy stuff like this over the years. And pretty soon she was gone from Fox News too. Why is there a BET and all those other things that she was talking about? Why do we have a Black History Month? It's because let's get to the awards. The reason why there's the black awards that we have now is because black actors and actresses were shut out of the quote unquote white awards, the Oscars, the Emmys, the Tonys. So black people said, okay, if you're gonna do this to us, we're gonna make our own. This is no different. This is no different from Tulsa. This is no different from Wilmington, North Carolina. This is no different from Rosewood. This is no different. There's another city that was in my head right now. But this is no different. White folk didn't want us a part of their thing, so black folk went and made their own. And the only reason why the NAACP Image Award and all these different awards are still around is because they're not a threat to the quote unquote white awards. But Tulsa, Wilmington, and all these other different cities, they were a threat to white America, and so they went and burned it down. As long as it's not a threat to white America, they will let us keep it. So we created our black Oscars, and we created our black Tonys, and our black Image Awards. That's why those things are around, and she knows this. She made her money on BET. Go to BET. In the past, 9 out of the 10 movies had her in it. She made her money on BET. Why do we have a black entertainment television? Why was there a thing called black entertainment television? Because MTV and VH1 would not let black videos go on there. Let me give you a story. Michael Jackson. They would not let Michael Jackson on MTV. So Mike had to protest. I will not do this for you until you do this for black folk. It was Michael Jackson that got black folk videos onto MTV. MTV would not be what it is today had it not been for Michael Joseph Jackson. That's why we have a BET. So, where is Katrina Pearson now? I don't know. Where is Stacey Dash right now? Well, this is the latest from this fool. Is it still here? Is it still up? Got to start it over. I knew it. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna. I hate that website, but what she did is she goes out and apologizes. She says that she was angry, and her career was angry, and she did everything angrily, which is why she was on Fox News. She was angry at the time. Angry at who? Angry at the fact that she was black? Angry at black America? Who were you angry at? What she was trying to do was get her quote unquote black card back. Cause she ished on everything black. Why is there Black History Month? Because black folk needed to be celebrated too. Ever since the first death of the first black man during the American Revolutionary War, Crispus Attucks, black folk have been a part of every war in this country, to include the French and Indian War, before America was America. Black folk have been in every war that this country has fought in. Hell, black folk fought on both sides of the Civil War. Some by voluntarily, some by force. Yes, they forced their slaves to go dig trenches. So black folk have fought in every battle that this country has fought in. Black folk have invented many things that made this country better, and yet we got no credit for it. And it started out, I want to say Carter G. Woodson. I don't know why the name is in my head, but it started out as a week in February. And why was it a week in February? Because Abraham Lincoln and I think Dr. King and a lot of other, and I even think Malcolm X, a lot of black folks' birthdays were in February. So it started out as a week and expanded to a month. So why do we have a Black History Month? Why is there a Latino Heritage Month? Why is there a Native American and Indigenous Month? Why do we celebrate these things? We celebrate these things because every day is White History Month. Every day is White History Month. I got my degrees on white history. Every day is White History Month. So let's take time to give credence to those people, the code talkers in World War II. Those were the Native Americans that used, those were the Navajo Indians and Navajo Native Americans who used Navajo codes during World War II to fool the Germans so that we can help win the war. Go watch a movie. I think the movie is called Code Talkers or Wind Talkers or something like that. So that's why that stuff exists. It's not because black folk wanted it to exist. It's because we had no other way of getting our talents out. We had no other way of getting our information out. So we had to create our own. And now you got a person like, I showed you Katrina Pearson. I showed you Candace Owens. Stacey Dash, both of whom are not on Fox News anymore. Both of whom are not on CNN anymore. Both of whom are not getting money off their racist rhetoric. And Stacey Dash is trying to come back she's trying to get her black card back. And black folk are like, no, you chose that. Go back over there. You chose that. Look at what you did. And Candace Owens is going to fall in that same trap. Candace Owens, right now, she's the hot ticket. Katrina Pearson was at first, then Stacey Dash came in, and now it's Candace Owens. She's the hot ticket right now. And before long, they're going to discard her and guarantee she's going to be back over here. Oh, Omarosa was one of them too. Omarosa was one too. And now she's trying to get her quote unquote black card back. So what does that tell you? If I'm not sure about Katrina Pearson. She might, like I say, I think she's still doing some stuff for the conservative movement. She's just not in the limelight now. She's not on Fox News now. But even she was angry at the conservatives for a time. But, oh man, I forgot my point. Oh man, I forgot my point. It was going to be a good one. I was too hyped. Yeah. People like Stacey Dash and Candace Owens and Katrina Pearson and Omarosa, they're all going to eventually fall by the wayside. As soon as the conservative movement is done with them, as soon as Fox News is done with them, they're going to all fall to the wayside, and they're going to be trying to scramble back to the black side of the house. And the reason why there's a black and white side, as far as the black community goes, is that black folk are acceptive. Black folk are open. So even black folk can come in and out of their quote unquote blackness. Let me give you an example. The Beatles would not have been the Beatles if they were not given a chance by who? I'll wait. No, I won't. The Beatles would not have been the Beatles had they not been given a chance by one of the founders of rock and roll. And I can't remember his name right now. Yes, I can. It's Little Richard. Little Richard. The Beatles was an opening act for Little Richard. He gave them some of the style and form that they needed when they came over here and did the quote unquote European invasion. Where did Elvis Presley get his dance move and his rhythm from? He got it from black folk. And he took it to the white world. Go back and look at a lot of the early rock and roll stars. They are singing a lot of the Delta blues. I saw a documentary. Go watch documentaries on YouTube. It's called the Delta Blues. A lot of white rock and roll stars are singing some of the songs from Son House and Robert Johnson. They praise Robert Johnson, who's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And they sing his songs to this day. White folk are acceptive. Black folk are acceptive in their culture. We accept everybody. We accepted Eminem. We accepted Limp Bizkit. We accepted Kid Rock at first, who came out and tried to do a hip hop country dude thing at first. Every time we see a white person dancing like a black person, or a white person rapping like a white person, we're like, oh my God, that dude, blah, blah, blah. So we accept them. Jim Carrey got his start where? Where did Jim Carrey get his start? Jim Carrey got his start on In Living Color. Jim Carrey was one of the only white people on In Living Color, to include that other white female who was also funny. She was hilarious. But he got his start on a black show. He was accepted. And Keenen Ivory Wayans knew the man was funny. It wasn't just because Jim Carrey was white. It wasn't just because of that. The man was funny. He was naturally talented. But that's where he got his start. So black folk can jump in and out of their blackness. And that's what Candace Owens is doing. That's what Katrina Pearson is doing. That's what Stacey Dash did. They tried to jump out of their blackness, and now they're trying to, and Stacey Dash tried to jump back in. And she made her money on BET. Candace Owens is going to fall to the wayside, just like these other black people do on Fox News and on the conservative side of the house. Guaranteed. It's just a matter of time. Hey, 21 minutes. It is Thursday. I am going to get out of here. I will see y'all on the next one. I can't believe this, man. I cannot believe this. Hey, that's Fox News for you. They can't say it. The white Tucker Carlson interviewed her. He can't say what she said. So they bring a black person to say it. They can't say it. Go back and watch. Anytime something black comes up, that black sheriff, where is he at now? Anytime something of a racial tone comes up, they send a black person on Fox News who's a conservative to say some of the things that they can't say, and say, look, I didn't say it. He's black. He said it. And Candace Owens is no different. They was like, who can we find that's on our roster, that's on our retainer, that we can bring in here and say these things? Candace Owens. They could have got Stacey Dash, but she's trying to get her black card back. They could get Katrina Pearson, but she's so damn crazy, they don't even want her on TV no more. They could get Omarosa, but she's iffy too. She's back and forth. One day she hate Trump, then she love Trump. We don't know where she at right now. She keeps jumping in and out of her blackness. So Candace Owens, she's the only one left until the next black person shows up. And they're trying to get that black mayor or black governor. They're trying to get her to become Candace Owens. Where's that sheriff? That black sheriff? He started saying some crazy stuff, so he was in and out. They can't put him on TV no more. Hey, I'm out. You guys have a great Thursday. I hope you had a great week. Hope you have continue to have a great rest of your week. I want to say there's going to be some changes down the pipe soon. We're going to ride out the rest of the year, and then we're going to start making some changes. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and enjoy 2021 and get ready for 2022. All right. You guys take care. I'm out.